Hello, this is Lolly. I recently showed in a video of what I had picked up at Hobby Lobby in my Purchases with a Purpose video because I was looking for things that I wanted for Passbook pals, but I really hadn't thought about it until I saw this, that it would be really cute to take this craft colored photo box and transform it into maybe something that looked like a vintage suitcase. So that's my thinking anyway. So yeah, good luck. So here's what I did. I just took the clear wrapping off, and then the inside there were these little dividers here that you could put in between your photos, and they're tabbed. So what I want to do is to put a divider in here to hold so that my Passbooks will go in here like this on two sides, but I don't want this thing falling over all the time. So what I did was I measured this, and this is 7 1/4, or that's what these are basically. They're 7 1/4 inches long, but I also want a 1-inch flap here and here and here and here in order to glue it into the box so it's not always fiddly. So what I figured is I need a 9 1/4 by 6-inch cardstock. So I have that here, and then I'm going to score it down the middle because it's going to fold like this, making it a little extra stronger when I put in there. So I'm scoring this at 3, and I'm going to flip it over so I'm scoring I want it to fold the opposite way. Now for those flaps, I want 1 inch on this way and 1 inch this way, which would be 8 1/4. Oops, I got out of my groove there. I'm not very groovy today. Okay, now all I need to do, if you can see this, I need to just cut this one little line here, the center up into that first score right there, and here. In theory anyway, we'll see how this works. Okay, find the center fold that's valley shaped. And now all these side flaps come up like this. Okay, and this is how it's going to go in, like this. And I'm going to glue those flaps against the wall there. I'll have to measure and find the exact center so I'll know where that is. In the meantime, I'm going to glue these two sides together. And I'm just going to flip it over and use some tape glider. There, it's so much sturdier now that I have 2 layers of cardstock there. It's just not flipping around on me. So like I said, I'm going to have to figure out where half is halfway in this. And I have a pencil somewhere and a ruler. And I could, even if I don't have the ability to measure it that way, I could always just lay these in here and figure out a good center that way. This looks really good right now. You see, my ruler doesn't fit down in there, but I can center that and figure it's right about here. I've got it almost perfect, actually. I think though, do I want to use tape or do I want to use liquid glue? I think I'll give it a try with the tape and hope I don't have a hard time getting it in there. So I'm going to tape. By putting both flaps open toward me. Okay, now here's the tricky part. I think I'm going to have to like hold them open like this as I lower it in. I could have used white, but I decided I liked the craft. So now what we have is storage, and it can go down, you know, spine up, whatever you want. So now look how many Passbooks this is going to hold. Oh my goodness, a ton of them. And another thing I was thinking of while we're talking about photo storage is that anything that holds a 4x6 photos, or 5x7s, but 4x6 is even better, would hold these. Now this holds, let's see, We could probably get 2 filled ones in here. But what I was thinking is that there are some photo boxes that are smaller size like this that you could also store these in. But I just wanted to play around and think about making this look like a suitcase. So I have some of my Distress ink in Walnut Stain, and I just want to rough up these edges here. Okay, now another thing that I would like would be to put those reinforced corners on it like the old vintage leather suitcases had. And in case you hadn't figured out why I was thinking suitcase, was because of PassBooks and traveling, and it's that theme. So I was thinking of the reinforced corners, but I think a lot of the metal ones I see are too big to fit around here. So I was thinking of maybe even making some paper ones, or we'll see. I'll look in my stash and see what I have. And I'm also thinking about maybe like the how there used to be like a luggage strap around there with a buckle. So many possibilities. So here's what I was thinking on those corners. What I have here is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to make a circle, and that circle is going to have to be twice what 3/4 of an inch is, and you'll see why. So that would be 1.5 inches. And I do have a 1.5 inch punch. If you don't have one, you can always look through your stash and try to find something that's, that you can trace that's about that dimension. Now I found this gray paper. I think silver is going to be too bright for what I'm looking for. I'm going to need, 4 corners for the top and 4 for the bottom. Wow, yeah. 1. And now I think I punched extra because sometimes I just feel like I need extras to, because of my mistakes. Okay, so what I want to do is just give these a little bit of a silver frosty paint. This is a metallic, and I think that will give me all that I need for a metallic look to them. And I'm wondering if I should fold them first or not. So what I'm doing is I'm going to fold them in half, open them up, and fold them the other way in half by lining up the 2 folded lines right there. And then I'm going to just cut one of the fold lines like that. And then all I have to do is fold it in on itself, tape it, and then that will be my little so-called reinforced corner. But I do want to give a little metallic paint on there. And I think I do like the fact that I folded it first, because I think folding and scoring once I get the acrylic paint on there is going to be a little tough. So I am going to fold, score, and cut all of these off camera. So I've got all of those done, and again I made extra on purpose. I'm going to get this box out of the way and put something down to protect the surface. These look like fortune cookies. I'm turning them point side up because that's the only side I need to paint. And I'm thinking of sponging some of the silver on there and not worrying about getting 100% coat, because I just want it to look vintagey and not perfect, like maybe some of the finish has been scratched off. And then I might even take some Distress ink after that. So I'm just going to sponge lightly on here. I think I need something to hold this down. Oh yeah, just sponging is perfect, just a little bit. I don't need to go crazy with it. Now when those dry, I can take a sponge with some of the black soot distress ink and go all over those. And that will age them up a little bit better even. Okay, so I'm going to rinse all this off and come back. Now, the other thing that I think about when I think about vintage suitcases is all those travel stickers that, you know, people travel, they go on vacation, and they put stickers all over it based on their destinations. So I think I'll look through my ephemera, see if I find anything that would be appropriate, and possibly even go online, see if I can look for some images, and we'll go from there.